The Cat and Her Forest Friends. Catface, Deciduous Tree. 10-scene story. About friendship and courage. Scene 1. A lonely cat in the forest near the edge of a beautiful green forest lived a small white cat named Chamakki. Her fur was soft like snow, and her bright eyes sparkled like stars in the night sky. Chamakki was kind, gentle, and very curious about the world around her. Every day she walked through the forest paths, watching birds fly in the sky and butterflies dancing over colorful flowers. Although the forest was full of animals, Chamakki often felt lonely because she did not have any friends. Most animals stayed away from her. The rabbits ran quickly when they saw her. The birds flew high into the trees. Even the squirrels hid behind branches. They all believed that cats could be dangerous, but Chamakki was not like that at all. She had a very soft heart and only wanted friends. One day, while sitting beside a tall tree, she looked at the sky and softly said, "I wish I had a friend in this big forest." She didn't know that very soon her wish would come true. Scene 2. Helping the injured rabbit. The next morning, Chamakki was walking along a quiet forest trail when she heard a small crying sound. Sniff, sniff. She followed the sound and soon saw a small rabbit sitting near a bush. The rabbit looked very sad and scared. One of his feet was hurt, and a sharp thorn was stuck in his paw. Chamakki slowly walked closer so the rabbit wouldn't be frightened. "Don't worry," she said gently. "I want to help you." At first the rabbit was nervous, but he could see kindness in Chamakki's eyes. Carefully and slowly, Chamakki pulled the thorn out of the rabbit's paw. The rabbit felt immediate relief. "Thank you so much," the rabbit said happily. "My name is Rico. You saved me." Chamakki smiled warmly. From that moment, Chamakki and Rico the rabbit became best friends. Scene 3. Saving the ducklings. One sunny afternoon, Chamakki and Rico were walking near the river. The water was shining under the bright sun. Near the river, a mother duck was swimming peacefully with her little ducklings. The baby ducks were happily splashing in the water. Suddenly, Chamakki noticed something moving in the grass. A long snake was slowly sliding toward the ducklings. Chamakki immediately understood the danger. Without wasting a second, she jumped onto a rock and shouted loudly, "Meowwww." Her loud voice echoed across the riverbank. The snake got scared and quickly slithered away into the bushes. The mother duck quickly gathered her ducklings and looked at Chamakki with gratitude. "You are very brave," she said. "You saved my children." From that day, the duck and her ducklings also became Chamakki's friends. Scene 4. The squirrel's broken home. A few days later, dark clouds covered the sky. Soon a powerful storm began. Strong winds blew through the forest and heavy rain poured down. Branches shook and leaves flew everywhere. High in a tree, a small squirrel named Mimi was crying. Her nest had fallen from the tree during the storm. Chamakki quickly called her friends. Rico the rabbit dug a safe little hole in the ground. The duck gathered soft leaves and grass. Chamakki carefully helped Mimi climb down the tree. Together they built a new cozy home for the squirrel. Mimi looked at them with tears of happiness. "You are the best friends anyone could ever have," she said. Scene 5. Friendship growing in the forest. Soon the news about Chamakki spread across the forest. Animals began to realize that she was not dangerous at all. Instead, she was kind, brave, and always ready to help. The deer, monkeys, birds, and even the shy turtles started coming to meet her. Every day the forest became more lively. Chamakki and her friends played games, explored new places, and shared delicious forest fruits. Sometimes they sat near the river at sunset, watching the sky turn orange and purple. Chamakki was no longer lonely. She now had many wonderful friends. Scene 6. A dangerous hunter arrives one quiet afternoon. Something unusual happened, but a hunter entered the forest. He carried ropes and nets to trap animals. Hidden behind a bush, Chamakki saw him placing traps along the forest paths. Her heart started beating fast. If the animals don't know about this, she thought, many of them will be caught. She knew she had to act quickly. Scene 7. Warning the forest. Chamakki ran as fast as she could to find her friends. She told Rico the rabbit about the hunter. Rico immediately began running through the forest, warning the deer and other animals. The duck flew across the river to inform the birds. Mimi the squirrel climbed tree after tree, spreading the message everywhere. Within a short time, the entire forest knew about the danger. Every animal stayed away from the traps. Scene 8. The Hunters. Failure later that evening. The hunter returned to check his traps. But when he looked at them, he was shocked. Every trap was empty. Not a single animal had been caught. He searched everywhere, but the forest was silent. Frustrated and angry, the hunter finally packed his things and left the forest. The animals were safe. Scene 9. The big celebration that night. The forest animals organized a big celebration. The lion, who was the king of the forest, stood proudly on a rock and spoke to everyone. Today, we celebrate the bravery of Chamakki, he said. She protected our forest and taught us that friendship and teamwork are the greatest strengths. All the animals cheered loudly. Birds sang songs. Monkeys danced on branches. Fireflies lit up the night like tiny stars. It was the happiest night the forest had ever seen. Scene 10. The true power of friendship. Chamakki looked at all her friends and smiled. I didn't do this alone, she said. We all helped each other. That is what true friendship means. From that day forward, the forest became a peaceful and happy place. Animals cared for each other, helped each other, and lived like one big family. And Chamakki, the once lonely cat, became the most loved friend in the entire forest. Moral of the story: true friendship, kindness, and teamwork can overcome even the biggest dangers.